Hey guys, what is up? This is Cam Jennings here, aka Zero Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. Guys, today you find me on the sales page of $7 Tsunami. This is a product, or $7 Tsunami, I guess you could say. This is a product that is going to teach you how to make newsletters. Alright, it's going to teach you how to make newsletters that you can sell paid subscriptions for and make money. It's a really cool business model. It's a really easy business model. They're selling this product for $8.25. This is Mark Barrett and David Jones right here. Mark Barrett's a friend of mine. He's actually one of my coaches, and I really appreciate everything that he does. So this is a cool product, and that's why I'm promoting it. However, one thing I noticed when I was in there going through there, and maybe a lot of people might not have noticed this, but I ran a membership site for 3.5 years, and I'm very familiar with the reoccurring monthly subscription model, okay, which is what this is going to be about. This is going to be about selling newsletters to people, and they're going to pay you a monthly fee for those newsletters. It's pretty cool because you can do all the newsletters in advance and just send them out automatically once a month, and you're going to get paid. It's pretty sweet. I'm in a unique position because I ran a membership site for 3.5 years, so I know what it takes to do a business like this. Okay, and one thing I did notice that would really add value to this training after you get it is some of the things I'm getting ready to teach you right now. Excuse me. Anyways, that's the sales page for $7 Tsunami. You can pick this up for $8.25. It's a great product. I highly recommend you pick it up, and you're going to be even more powerful to do this after you watch the training we're getting ready to go over right now. So this is how to make newsletters that you can sell subscriptions for by yours truly, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through these bullet points right here, and we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to be talking to you guys about newsletter creation plan. I'm going to talk to you about creating the actual newsletter. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about packaging. I'm going to talk to you about framework for sales. I'm going to talk to you about delivering the issues. I'm going to talk to you about traffic to the newsletter, and then we're going to wrap up. And guys, some of this stuff is covered in $7 Tsunami. So when I hit something that's covered in $7 Tsunami, I am going to let you guys know that this is covered in the course. I'm just going to skim it a little bit, and you can find a lot more detailed information in the course, okay? But there are a couple things that I think will really help you that are not in the course, so I really do want to talk about those things a little bit more in depth. So the first one is this, newsletter creation plan, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little page break down here and newsletter creation plan. Okay, when you're going to create a newsletter and you're going to sell it monthly, or you're going to sell it, let's say you're going to do a monthly subscription, but you're going to deliver them weekly issues. Okay, so that's like 52 issues for a year. All right, so you can bang out 52 issues and have them set in a queue to go out to people every single week once they sign up. That's pretty sweet. They're going to pay you once a month. You're going to send them an issue once a week. That's pretty awesome. And you can do it. It's pretty easy. But before you even get started with that, you need kind of a plan, right? Your newsletter creation plan. And what I mean by that is you got to figure out what you're going to do the newsletter on, what the thing is you're going to be doing it on. Now, you know, Mark goes into this a little more in detail in $7 Tsunami, so I'm not going to get into like niche selection too much with this, but I do want to talk about putting together a game plan for actually building the issues, okay? Now for our example, guys, I'm going to use MMA because that's something I've been kind of getting into lately. You know, I've been kind of following it a little bit, like Ronda Rousey and, you know, Conor McGregor and these MMA fighters in the UFC. I've been kind of following it a little bit. I'm sort of a pseudo fan of that, I guess you could say. So I'm kind of interested. I have some interest in it. So that's something I'm going to use as an example. All right. So let's say I want to do a UFC newsletter, right? And keep in mind, guys, there's a couple ways you can do this newsletter. And the easy way to do it, okay, is to use something that doesn't have current news, right? It doesn't have current news. Like this UFC newsletter idea, it's cool, man, but it's in a way it's not cool because I can't just set like a year's worth of newsletters up to go out because there's new things happening in the UFC. It's kind of one of those things where every month I need to kind of create new things, right? And that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I did it with my membership site for 3.5 years. It's pretty simple to come up with new stuff, especially the way I'm going to show you guys how to come up with your content right here. However, just keep in mind, a UFC newsletter is something that you can't really do that far in advance. You gotta every month you gotta put a little work in. Another example, what would be better, diabetic recipes, right? Diabetic recipes on a budget. Diabetic recipes on a budget. Right? Maybe diabetic friendly recipes. Diabetic friendly recipes on a budget. Weekly, right? Something like that. Now that's gonna be like, that's not something that you have to update every month, man. You can bang out a year's worth of newsletters for that one and just line them up, and then your only job then is to go sell subscriptions. Okay, so that's a better situation. Another good situation, PLR email sequences. Right, so every month or every week you send them out like PLR email sequences that they can use in their own email campaigns. Right, that is sweet. That's evergreen. That's not something that you have to it's not something you have to continuously upgrade. You can like bang out a year's worth of that and you're good to go. Right, so cool. First thing you got to do is decide what kind of newsletter you want to do, and like I said, keep in mind if you do that first example, like what I'm going to show you in the creation, just keep in mind that's something you're going to put a little work into that every month. Now these other two are examples of things you can just bang out and you'll be done with them. Right, you don't have to keep on upgrading you don't have to keep on doing new content every month. Right, so depending on what you want to do and what you're interested in. Now, look, I know all of you guys are thinking, yeah, I want to do this one and I want to do this one. And hey, hats off to you. Do whatever you want. What I've found is that I like to do things I have an interest in. Okay, I have a interest in this UFC thing, so it would be better for me to do something I actually have an interest in. So that it's up to you. You have to make your own decision on that. Just keep in mind, some of these things you can bust out a whole year's worth, no problem. Some of them you can't. Some of them you need to take it like month by month, so you have updated content. Okay, so cool. Enough of that. Okay, let's talk about creation plan. Okay. The first thing you want to decide is how much content in a newsletter. Okay, how much content in a newsletter? Okay, when I did adventuresontheriver.com, when I did that website for 3.5 years, I put 5 to 8 pieces of content out a month. 5 to 8 pieces of content out a month. Let me write that down for you. I did 5 to 8 pieces of content a month. Okay, now here's what I'll tell you. Okay, whatever you decide on, don't go under that. If you say, hey, I'm going to put out 8 pieces of content a month in my newsletter, don't try to come out there with 5 pieces of content 1 month. Okay, people are going to notice, right? And you're going to lose subscribers. They're not going to appreciate it. Okay, you can always go higher, but you can't go under. So pick your initial number wisely. So this is what I did: 5 to 8 pieces of content a month. It worked out really good for me. So let's use that as a premise. We're going to do 5 to 8 pieces of content in this newsletter. All right, it's going to be a newsletter about UFC. So I want like some categories for UFC. I want some categories right off the bat. I'm going to say current news, because with the categories, if I have 8 categories, you guys, then all I got to do is find a new piece of content for each category every single newsletter, right? And I do content for my categories, right? So current news, I'll do current news on that. I'll do upcoming events. That's a no-brainer. Maybe I'll do, it's a mixed martial arts thing, so maybe I'll do, I'll do something called, Coach's Corner, and maybe in that one I would do something like no, not Coach's Corner. Let's call it featured art of the month or whatever. Featured art of the month or featured art of the week, right? featured art of the week, and every week we'll have a different article about a different martial art. You don't have to write these articles, you guys. We're going to talk about how to create the newsletter in a minute. You don't have to write these articles. We're going to do but featured art, featured martial art of the week. Now, I just got into this MMA thing, you guys, so I'm not an expert at it. I don't know a lot about it. So if I say something that sounds stupid and you're a big MMA UFC fan, just ignore me, okay? I don't know a ton about the sport. I kind of just started following it. But this is how I would do it if I was going to do a newsletter about it. Featured martial art of the week. Now what you can do is if you're kind of unsure about categories, what you do is you go UFC, right? And you're going to go look at a website or something else that deals with your niche, right? And you're going to look at some of their categories, right? MMA Junkie here. This is a website, and they got some trending stuff. They got news. They got rumors. They got events. These are categories. Fighters, rankings, videos, radio, forum. So news, we got that. Rumors, we could do rumors as a category. I don't really like that. I like fighters. That's pretty cool. Fighters. I like rankings. And videos, yeah, I like that too. Fighters, rankings, videos. So I'd say fighters, rankings, videos, right? So we'll put these as our categories, And if you're like, man, I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Just click on the category and see what they're putting there. Fighters. Okay. So here's all the fighters in the MMA. So in our newsletter, maybe in our fighters category in our newsletter, our fighter section, we'll do a little bio of a fighter every single week or every single month, however often you do the newsletter. I don't want you guys to get intimidated by this. Okay, I want you to understand you don't actually have to do the writing. Okay, you don't actually have to do that. You don't have to actually do the writing. I'm going to show you guys how you can deal with that. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. I want a few more categories. This videos thing is cool. I think interviews would be cool. I think highlights of the month will be cool. Let's just assume it's going to be a monthly. Okay. Highlights of the month. Awesome video moments, right? Pretty cool. Interviews. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's roll with 8. Okay. 8 pieces of content. Cool. So let's say we're going to have 8 pieces of content. So we got current news, upcoming events, featured martial art of the month, fighters, rankings, awesome videos of the moments, interviews, highlights of the month. Okay? I'm going to do 5 to 8 pieces of content, and it's going to be a monthly, right? It's going to be a monthly newsletter on UFC news, right? Pretty cool. All right. So the next thing you want to do is you want to come up here. We got a little newsletter creation plan. If you want, it's not too soon to come up with a name for your newsletter. Not too soon to do that. Sometimes it's good to give something a name. All right, not too soon to do that. You can hold off on it if you want. If you want it to take a little bit more of a shape, you can hold off on that. Okay. Newsletter creation plan is in the books. All right. Now let's get into newsletter creation. All right, and let me show you guys a little bit about this. Alright guys, cool. Now let's do newsletter creation. Now I realize some of you guys might not have Word, okay, or whatever. You might not have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our newsletter in Google Docs. Good old handy dandy Google Docs that we all have and we can all get access to. So let's go over to Google Docs here and let's get this party started. Okay, so with our newsletter, we're going to call it UFC letter issue 1. Alright. Okay. So I'm gonna go through each page with you, okay guys, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna do it. So the first page is gonna be cover, okay? Insert. We're gonna give a Sorry, I'm used to using Word for a little while, so I haven't used Google Docs for a minute. But what we want to do is page break. That's what I was looking for. So the first thing we want to do is insert. Cover is the first page. Okay. Second page, you can do a copyright page. Okay. Now, third page. Okay. Now, if you're doing like make money online type stuff, it's not a bad idea to put a disclaimer in there as well. Okay. That's just some advice. All right. So third page. So you got a copyright page, you got a cover page, you got a copyright page. We'll put this in fancy little brackets here. Okay. Page. Now third page, you want to do an intro, right? Third page. Now you want to write that, okay? A paragraph or two, right? This is branding, all right? You want to make sure you're introing, okay? You want to intro this thing, and if you don't mind, it's look, it's not a bad idea to put a picture in there. It's not a bad idea to put a picture in there, okay? That's going to be up to you. If you don't put a picture of yourself in there, then what you want to do is you want to put a logo picture in there of your newsletter. I highly recommend you get a logo for your newsletter. Go over to Fiverr and have someone do a logo for you. So that way in every issue, you can put the logo picture right up there. So it's just, let me find something real quick. All right. Obviously, that's not a logo for UFC, but it is a simple logo. You guys get the point. So in an intro, on the intro page, you're going to have a logo for your newsletter. Then you're going to have a paragraph or two, and it's going to be simple, right? It's going to be like, hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to issue 1 of UFC News. Right? And you just kind of talk a paragraph or two. What's in the issue, right? And if you don't know what's in the issue yet, you're creating this thing, you might do the intro last, okay? And that's not a bad idea. Do the intro last after you know what's in the issue. I know when I did adventuresontheriver.com, I had a little video up at the top every single month talking about what was in fresh content for the month. And guys, I always shot that video last. After I had all the content in there for the month and I knew what was in there, then I shot that little intro to the month video. And it probably will be the same for you when you're doing the intro. The little paragraph or two in the intro, you'll do that one last. So you just kind of have it there. You got your little logo right there, and you got it there. And once you get the content done for the newsletter, then you come back and do this page. All right. And it doesn't need to be long, just a paragraph or two. So let's go ahead and page break again. Okay. And once we got that, what I would do with the newsletter is you want to go to TOC, right? You want to do a table of contents, right? And then we're going to have our simple categories in there, right? Now, we're going to have our simple categories in there. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Those are the wrong ones. That's not my categories. Oh, my goodness, man. How unprofessional. What is going on? Jeez. Okay. So here's the actual categories. All right. I don't know why I brought those over highlighted, man. I really don't. Anyways, whatever, man. Here's how I'm going to take care of that, Get rid of this highlight stuff, man. I don't want this highlight stuff. Boom. That's what I want. All right. So we're going to have us a table of contents. Okay. Very cool. Make that a little bit bigger. right? Very cool. So we're going to have a table of contents. And then we're going to go ahead and page break again, all right? So cool. Now what's next is it's easy, right? We're going to go current news. Alright, so cool. We're going to go current news on that. Okay. Insert a page break. Upcoming features. Insert a page break. And you guys get the idea. I'm not going to go through all of these. You guys see what I'm doing. I'm putting a page in here for every single category, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm putting a page in here for every single category. All right. Now, obviously, what you want to do is, you want to make this a little bit bigger, okay? You don't need this, to me, like, you don't need this bullet point thing. So, you could center it, you could leave it over there, and then we need some current news, man. We need some current news on this thing. So, but then what I'm going to do, for me, like, you can easily do curated content on this. Current news, UFC, okay, in the news. There's one right there, right, from MMA Junkie, right? So what I do with that situation is I want the title there. So I'm gonna put it in. Let me change this word up. I want the title there, so I'm gonna just put it in my little notepad so I don't get all the links and stuff. And then I'm gonna come back over here. I want the title, right? Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sorry, I lost my train of thought there, guys. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Get the link, okay? I'm going to come back over here to my Google Docs. I'm going to link to this article, okay? Apply, right? Pretty cool. And if I'm just curating content, I said 5 to 8 pieces of content. Now if you're doing original pieces of content, that's great. Just one article could be the content, right? Or just one video by you could be the content. But if we're curating content, it's easy to give them, we could give them 5 to 8 pieces a category, and that's no problem. And I think that's a pretty good, healthy amount. 5 to 8 pieces a category. Let's just say 5 pieces a category. So we'll do current news, Connor, okay, cool. And then maybe we'll get something from something else, This is pretty. UFC statement on MMA in New York. Okay, we'll get that. And this, I just kind of, and I'm not gonna do everything on this. I'm not gonna, spend, an hour or so putting this together just to save you guys some time. I just want you guys to understand how it comes together and how you can do it. Okay, so we got the UFC statement on MMA. This was published on March 15th. Again, wow, if I'm just gonna, UFC. This is probably, actually, you know what, man, this is kind of a bad article because I wouldn't use that, man. It's kind of just, it's bland. You guys have to decide what's cool, Here we go. Alright. Okay. UFC 198. And this might be more of like upcoming events kind of thing, but you know. The more you know about a subject, you guys, the easier it's going to be to do a cool newsletter on it, alright? Now, I don't know a lot about, you know, UFC, so obviously, you know, I'm going to be, you know, spending a little more time trying to put something together. Okay, so got our second piece of content, boom, in the books. Okay. Let's find something else, man. Let's find some other cool stuff. The fighter side has brought the boss back to UFC, right? And guys, you're not doing anything wrong with this kind of with this kind of a newsletter. I want you guys to understand you're not doing anything wrong. You're curating content. This is no different than what the Huffington Post does. They curate tons of content. When you put these issues together, you're linking back to the original articles, and you're going to be driving traffic to these websites, and they are going to love that. That is great for them. It's a win for them because they're going to be getting traffic. It's a win for you because you're going to be making money, and it's a win for your customers because they're going to get this really nice, neat package of content delivered to their inbox every single month, and they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to read it. They're going to love it. It's going to be great. So it works for everybody. Curated content is an old model. It's been around for a long time. So don't feel weird about using it, okay? You guys get the idea. If I'm going to do curated content with this newsletter, I would probably do at least 5 pieces. So let's find a couple more. And I say take them from different locations. Don't just take them from the same place, okay? It's better if you get them from different sources, right? This is interesting. It's interesting stuff. I'm making a newsletter I would probably read because I'm actually starting to get into this UFC stuff, so not like crazy into it though, man. I'm not really into it. I still think it's a little on the brutal side, to be honest with you. It's a little too Roman gladiator-ish for me. I'm still more of an NFL football fan personally, but it is kind of cool. I don't mind it. And then let's find something else, you know. And you see that? Shogun Rua, Corey Anderson, add UFC 198. It's probably, might be curated content also, which is fine. Cool. Alright, very, very cool. Let's go ahead and, I don't want to get caught up reading these dumb articles. Okay. Click on that. Get the article. One, two, three, four, 5. We got 5. If you want to be really cool, you can put a little category introduction, right? Got some great stuff this month in current news. Enjoy. Something like that, you know. And then you're going to do the same thing for these other categories, right? You're going to curate some content, right? Very, very cool. And then let me see if I can do this in Google Docs. I know how to do it in Word. I just want to see if I can do it in Google Docs. I just want to insert a bookmark. Okay, so check this out. Highlight current news, insert bookmark. Okay. Alright, very cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert, and they have a nice table of contents thing right here. I should have probably just used that. We're going to link this current news, and we're going to link it to bookmarks, current news, apply. Okay, so now when people click on that, they're going to go right down to current news. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how to package this thing up. It's not going to sit here on Google Docs. We're going to turn it into a PDF, right? But when they click on current news, boom, we want it to take them to current news, right? When they click on fighters, boom, we want them to take them to fighters, right? And like I said, the way you do that, we'll do it again just to kind of so you can see what I'm doing. Highlight upcoming events, insert, bookmark, okay? Now, then come up here to, you know, upcoming events, and we're going to insert link, and it's asking us where we want to link to, and we're going to link to the bookmark of upcoming events. Boom. And then we're going to apply. Boom. It's done. Just like that. That's how you create it. Now, it looks like in Google Docs, they probably make it even easier for you with this table of contents thing. I've never used that before, so I don't want to waste your time on video here trying to figure out how to use this table of contents. I showed you the simple way that I do it in Word, and you can do it just like that, or you can mess around with table of contents if you want to. So anyways, that's that. So what's next with creation after we get done with our categories? Well, it's really easy. After we get done with our categories, what you're going to do is you're going to want to wrap up, or you could call this conclusion. You call it whatever you want to. You're going to do a little closing, right? All right, everybody. That's about it for this month. I hope you are all doing well. It's going to be a crazy month coming up for UFC. I can't wait. Alright, pretty cool. And yeah, you know, give them a paragraph or two for the wrap up, you know. Now what you want to do is I'm going to say this is after the wrap up, but look, think about like magazines you've read, okay? Think about magazines you've read and where you've seen sponsored advertising in the magazine. You see them all over the place. You pay for the magazine, but throughout the magazine you'll see sponsored advertising. Pretty neat, right? So I'll say after your conclusion, you're going to put some sponsored advertising. Now, when I say sponsored advertising, I'm not saying go out there and get a sponsor. That's not what I'm saying. Let's just get rid of that sponsored thing. Advertising, okay? Now here, what are you going to advertise? Well, you can advertise your blog. You can advertise your YouTube. If you got a YouTube channel, advertise that, man. You can advertise your Facebook group. That's a great thing to advertise. You can advertise affiliate offers. If you got something that you're affiliating with that works, that goes with your newsletter, advertise it in this advertising section. Okay, this can be right here at the end. If you want, you can put the advertising right before the wrap up. If you want, you could do a different advertising after each category. You can have like a category, then you can have an advertising page. You can have a category, then you can have an advertising page. You can do that, man. The sky's the limit. It's your newsletter. You can do whatever you want. I definitely suggest you put some advertising in there because it's great that people are giving you a little bit of money for the newsletter, but let me tell you something. Your best customers are going to be the people who have already paid you money before. They already like your content. They trust what you do. Those are going to be the people that reinvest in your stuff. So if you're affiliating with something, don't be afraid to advertise in your newsletter, okay? I made this mistake a lot, you know, when I first started Adventures on the River and I started charging people. I didn't want to offer them anything else. I didn't want to offer them anything else that might help them, paid things that might help them that I could affiliate with. I didn't want to offer it to them because I thought, man, they're already paying me every month. I don't want to bother those people. That's nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. You're doing them a disservice, you're doing you a disservice, and you're doing the guy who made the quality product that you could help sell a disservice also. So don't be afraid, advertise in your newsletter. It's your newsletter. You own it. Roll with it, okay? So advertising would be the last thing. Like I said, you can put the advertising wherever you want. Make sure you put it in there. So anyways, that's the basic setup for the newsletter. In the next video, I'm going to show you about... Let's go ahead and highlight this newsletter creation. That's how you create the newsletter. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about this newsletter creation. One more thing I want to talk about with newsletter creation, okay? This cover thing, okay? Now, look, you can do this however you want. I recommend going over to Fiverr and paying someone to do you a cover, alright? You can use the same cover every month if you want to. Just change the number, okay? It's a new issue, so change the number. Or you can just pay them $5 every month to do you a new cover. That's a good investment, man. $5 a month. I mean, man, you're going to be covering that as soon as you get one subscriber. So to me, that's a necessary expense. If you have a professional looking cover, you're going to sell more subscriptions. That's all there is to it. If it looks pro, you're going to have more subscriptions sold. Okay, so anyways, yeah, that's that. Now let's say you want to actually put some original content in there, but you don't know a lot about what you're doing, right? Let's say you want to do a newsletter on UFC or whatever, but you don't know a lot about UFC. You definitely aren't a very good writer, and you don't know enough to write about it. So what you want to do is you want to find someone who does know about it, who does write about it. So what you do is you come over here, UFC blogs, right? UFC Mania, UFC News. We're going to come over to one of these blogs or whatever, and we're going to look for people. You see these people right here who are writing? Okay, Andrew Richardson, Jesse Holland, Andrew Richardson, James Goydner. Let's focus on this guy right here. Okay, right there. He's got, James Goydner. He's a sports journalist writing about MMA, boxing, Muay Thai for almost 10 years. He's right there, man. Go over to Twitter, contact him, and say, hey, listen, man, I got a newsletter. I'm interested in hiring you to write maybe an article a month for me. Would you be into that? Or maybe just write an article for me for my newsletter, and we'll take it from there. It's easy to get a hold of these guys and ask them to write for you, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. Generally, when you're dealing with people who write and they're writing from a place of experience, they know what they're talking about. They're not just, researching some stuff on the internet and writing about something they don't have a clue about. When you're actually getting people who have experience, you're going to pay more for it. What's a good range for an article by somebody? Let's say a 1,000-word article could cost you anywhere between $50 and $100 for a 1,000-word article, right? That's written by someone with good experience, right? That's a decent price, right? So that's what you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for quality writing, but that's how you get quality writing. If you want to know how you get it, you go find the writers who are writing about that subject, and you get it. Now, if you're okay with less quality, you can go somewhere like iWriter, right? And there's a ton of other places like this out here, but just a place where people write. They just write, man. That's what they do for a living. They're freelance writers, and they just write about any subject under the sun. You can hire someone over here like as low as $1.25 an article. It's gonna be a lot cheaper. The quality's not gonna be as good. So it's up to you how you wanna play that. Now, there's another alternative, okay? When it comes to finding writers, okay? UFC blog, right? If you look for a blog, or if you look for you can look for a blog where they're not quite as popular, right? They're not quite as popular. Maybe they're trying to get some more exposure, right? And you contact them and say, hey, listen, man, would you be interested in doing a guest article in my newsletter? I got a monthly newsletter. I'm building a subscribership. Man, would you be interested in doing a guest article? And you can put a link back to your website in the article. Man, you could probably get some writers to write for you for free by doing it that way. Okay, so that's a great way to do it also. Okay, guys, so if you don't want to do curated content, there's definitely ways out there to go about it. And I'll tell you, not just articles, guys, but you can also do YouTube videos, right? YouTube. We go over to YouTube, and for this example, UFC, let's look up people who are doing UFC stuff, right? UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. Who else? MMA Fighting on SBN. Let's look for someone who just does videos about UFC because they love it and they're maybe making some money off of it. EA Sports. Let's just see what we can find. Chris Smooth. Yeah, that guy does video games, it looks like. Okay. Hard 8 Gaming. So let's just pretend, for the sake of time, let's pretend that this guy does stuff about the UFC. You can contact this guy and ask him, hey man, would you be interested in doing like a video for my newsletter, man? Just talking about stuff going on in UFC or whatever. And it would be like an exclusive just for my newsletter. It'd be like it would be like an unlisted video you did for my newsletter. It'd be like exclusive content or whatever. But then you can link back to your YouTube channel, right? So you'll get some traffic to your YouTube channel if you do that. Man, that would be awesome. So you can work that out with YouTubers also, okay? I've done stuff like that for people before, and it's always helpful. It's always a win-win situation. So, yeah, it's really easy to find the content for your newsletter without you really having to create much of it at all. That's the point, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. And we're going to go ahead and move on to packaging. Alright guys, so the next step is packaging. Alright, so we got this thing, let's come over here real quick. Okay, so we got this thing created. Let's just imagine we got ourselves a nice little issue here. We put our cover right here, and obviously, you just insert image. You got your cover, you insert the image, and you got it. Okay, so here we got a nice little newsletter, but it's over here on Google Docs. How do we get it to where we want it? Okay, well, the thing about Google Docs is, what I've noticed is when you try to file, download as a PDF, the problem with that is it doesn't save the links. Like, the links are not clickable in the PDF. I mean, that is not that is not cool. We cannot do that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to do this. All right, it's not very hard, but before I do, I want to talk to you about something else. You guys know you always have the option with newsletters to just put the whole newsletter directly in the email, right? You could do that. Why do I teach you to put it in a PDF document? The reason I teach you to put it in a PDF document is because the PDF document has a perceived value. It's something that they can download, they can save on their hard drive. It appeals to their collector's sensibility, right? So they can actually collect these issues on their hard drive. They got them all. They got like a bank of issues on their hard drive as they come, and they feel like they're getting something. If it's just coming in the email, it's not quite the same. All right, so it's kind of better to have something, right? Something that they can actually download and have, like an ebook, right? That's why the PDF. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how to get this thing in a PDF that they can actually click on stuff, alright? Because there's an error with Google Docs. When you try to save it directly to PDF, it won't save these links, and that's a no-no. So what we're going to do is we're going to go File, we're going to download as an open document format. You can use Microsoft Word also. If you got Microsoft Word, feel free to use that. But we're going to do open document format. Okay, we're going to download that. And we're going to put it in my newsletter. thing. Okay, cool. We're going to put it right there. Newsletters. Alright, cool. So, now what? Now we're going to come over here to this site called online-converter.com. Online-converter.com. Okay? Online converter. And we're going to convert a document, right? Select target format. We're going to select PDF. And then it's going to take us to this screen. It's going to ask us to select our file. We're going to go over here to here. We're going to select our little newsletter file that we downloaded from Google Docs. Okay, and once we got that selected right there, we're going to convert this sucker. Boom. And you see, file is currently processing right there. And we'll wait till this says finished. Boom, your file has been successfully converted. You see it's downloaded. There's the PDF version. So let's show in the folder. Let's put this over here in our newsletters thing. Okay, now let's look at the PDF. Alright, here's our PDF. It's the cover. You just got to use your imagination here because I didn't actually create all this stuff. We just kind of went through what it should look like. And here's our table of contents. So this, boom, it goes right to news. Pretty cool. This one goes right to events, upcoming events. Pretty awesome. So our links work, right? And we click on this link, boom. Takes it a minute. We're going to another website here. And it pulls it right up. It pulls up our article. That's amazing, right? So great. So that is how you do it. The document is created, it's packaged, and it is ready to go. Now what do we do? Okay? Now what do we do? Here's what we're going to do now. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back over to Google Documents. Okay? Let's close this. Okay? We're going to go back over to Google Docs right here. We're going to go into Google Docs, and what we're going to do when we're in Google Docs this time is we're going to we're going to upload a document, right? We're going to upload a document. Right? And there's our PDF. We're going to upload that, right? Upload the document. Okay? Now here's our document. It's uploaded to Google Docs. Now what we want to do is we want to, this little person with the little plus, we want to make sure this is share with others, right? Share with others, right? We don't want this to be something different. We want it to be share with others. Okay? Now what we want to do is we want to get our shareable link. Okay? And there's our link. Let's go ahead and copy that link. Alright? And we're going to put that in a nice little Word document. Okay? Alright? And now it's ready to go. Okay? Now it's ready to go. Now you can take that simple link, right? It's going to go, look what happens when we type it in. Type in that link. Where does it take us? Boom. It takes us right to the PDF. So it's going to take your customers right to the issue. So what do you do with that link? You put that link in your email, right? The email that's going to go out to your customers, all right? Now, how do you set up the emails? How do you set up the emails? How do you do all that stuff? That's explained in $7 Tsunami. $7 Tsunami, I should say. Excuse me. That's explained in the course. How to set up your sequence, how to get all that squared away. That's all explained. Just all you got to remember is that little link you got, that little link of the PDF that's stored right there on Google Docs. You're going to, when you do the email is going to be like, here, let me get some space down here. The email is going to be simple, right? It's going to be like, hey, what's up? What's up? And welcome to issue 1 of UFC News. Right? I appreciate you being part of the UFC news community, and I will see you inside. Right? And then UFC issue 1, right? And that's going to be kind of like what the email looks like, you know. That's going to be kind of what the email looks like, and then you're just gonna, you know, you're gonna insert the link right here to that Google Doc, right? So, and you know, look, and if you took the time to make a cover for your issue 1, not a bad idea to insert an image of the cover right there in the email. Okay, so cool, and then you're good to go. So then when they click on that, where does it take them? It takes them right to issue 1, right? Pretty awesome. Okay, now like I said, when it comes to setting up the sequence for the emails and all that good stuff, I'm gonna let Mark Barrett and David Jones handle that. They talk about that in $7 Tsunami, so I'm not gonna talk about that here. But that's how you set it up to where you're delivering them PDFs that they can download, and there's a higher perceived value for this. Okay, very, very cool. Let's go ahead and cross off packaging, and let's move on. Alright guys, cool. Let's talk about framework for sales now. I showed you how to create the newsletter. I showed you how to like put it on Google Docs, and how to, you just line it right up with your autoresponder sequence, and it's great. And now you're ready to go, man. You can, like, if you wanted to, you could like bust out like a year's worth of those things and then just concentrate on selling it, right? Pretty cool. So what next? Framework for sales. Now listen, Mark Barrett and David talk about this really, really in depth in $7 Tsunami. So I'm not going to go into framework for sales too much. I just want to touch on it really quick. With the framework for sales, you need really just 2 pages, right? You need the sales page, and the sales page, and you need the download page, right? You need the sales page to download page. Now, on the sales page, obviously, you're going to have some copy, and you're going to have a buy button, right? On the download page, you're going to have an opt-in. And what happens is when they hit that download page, so you're going to have some, you're going to have some directions, right? And you're going to have an opt-in. And what's going to happen is when they hit that download page, you're going to give them directions on what to do and what to expect, right? So they're going to opt in, and what that's going to do is that's going to sign up for the email sequence that's going to be delivered to them automatically, right? Every so often, however often you got your sequence set for, it's going to be delivered to them automatically, and that's what the directions are going to tell them to do. That can be video directions, it can be written directions, however you want to do it. That's what the download page is going to do, and then it's going to have a little opt-in they opt in for. So easy, simple. It's that simple. Now, what if you want to? What if you wanted to get more in depth with it? Well, first of all, I suggest, if you want to get more in depth with it, the first thing I would suggest is go over to epicconversions.com. That's my website, and pick up that free opt-in 50 ways to flood your website with targeted traffic. That's going to help you anyway when you're driving traffic to your newsletter. But I say pick it up because when you opt in to get it, you're going to go into my sales funnel. And my sales funnel is going to offer you a product called Art of the Funnel. Alright? And what that's going to teach you how to do is how to like make a little bit more money off of this situation. Because you can go sales page to download page if you want to, and that's fine. But you could put a few more options in here if you wanted to really maximize revenue, okay? Maximize revenue and to make your customers even happier because they're getting more that they need. Okay, so there is a little bit more complicated way to do it. I talk about that in Art of the Funnel, but for this video, let's just keep it really basic. This is what you need to make this newsletter thing happen: a sales page and a download page. Okay, very, very simple. And like I said, Mark goes over this more inside $7 Tsunami. Okay, very, very cool, guys. Let's move on. Hey guys, what is up? Okay, we just covered framework for sales. All right, that's pretty easy stuff. We got that. You know, if you want to know what I use to create my pages, by the way, when it comes to framework for sales, if you want to know what I use to create my pages, I use something called Thrive Themes Content Builder. Okay, you can pick that up over here at thrivethemes.com. Okay. And they got this thing called Content Builder. Alright, it's awesome. You can create pages with it, super easy. Sales pages, download pages, you know, squeeze pages. You can build entire websites with this thing, and it is like effortless, man. I am a big dumb animal. If I can use this thing to create websites, you can too, trust me, and you can probably do a better job than me. But I'll give you an example. This is a course I just created for my Web Writers Facebook group, okay? Simple course. You saw that video just started up automatically, so it's auto start. You saw that it's a YouTube video, I embedded it, and you see it's pretty simple, nothing much to it. Like I said, I'm a big dumb animal, I'm not a web designer. But look, I got tabs here on the side. The videos, they start up automatically as soon as you go through the tabs. Okay, now I have no idea how to do the coding to do that. I set that up very easy. It's all drag and drop. It was super easy to set this up using this content builder. So pretty cool. Yeah, Thrive Content Builder. I'm not putting an affiliate link in this video. I guess I could. I'll put a link in this maybe for your convenience. If you want to pick that up, go for it. It's $97 for an unlimited license to use it on whatever websites you want. It's a WordPress plugin. Okay, it's super powerful. All right, so let me close that. Let me pull this back up. Now let's talk about delivering the issues. Okay, now this is something that is covered in depth with $7 Tsunami, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. What I will say is, now we talked in our little content plan that we were going to deliver this monthly. So in your autoresponder, and yeah, you're going to need an autoresponder to do this monthly newsletter. You know, you really do want an autoresponder to do this. That's going to make everything automatic for you, right? So in your autoresponder, you're going to write. What you're basically going to do is you're going to write, you know, let's say we're going to do monthly. Let's say we want a year's worth. We're going to write 12 emails, right? 12 emails, and we're going to line them up in a sequence in our autoresponder, right? To go out once every 30 days. Right? Once every 30 days. Pretty cool. Now, in the email will be a link to the PDF. You know? Simple, right? Very simple. 12 emails, line them up. You get that done, and you are done for the year, man. All you got to do now is just promote the thing. That's right? That's it. Pretty cool. So you're going to do 12 emails, you're going to do 12 issues, and then you promote, right? You drive traffic to the sales page, right? That's it. So that's deliverability. Now if you want to get really cool, excuse me, if you want to get really cool, you could do 12 more emails, right? And what you're going to do here is you're going to deliver these emails in between the other ones, right? So, you know, they're going to, let's say, okay, so they're going to get issue 1, okay? And then 15 days later, they will get email talking about issue 2, right? And some of the stuff you're going to tease them on issue 2, right? 15 days later, you can tease them on issue 2. Tease them a little bit about what to expect in issue 2, and at the same time, in that email, you can also promote like affiliate products or whatever, right? So you'll have a secondary email lined up to go out, right? You could do that if you're ambitious. You could do it. You're going to make more money if you do that. That's all there is to it. You don't have to. If that's too complicated, don't worry about it. Just do the 12 emails for your 12 issues and roll. But just keep in mind, that's not high frequency. That's only 1 email a month. So you're probably going to be emailing your people more than once a month. So it's not a bad idea to do that email 15 days in. You have an excuse to mail. It's going to be promotional for the next issue, but you're also going to be able to, promote like some kind of evergreen product or something in there. So that's pretty cool. I hope that makes sense, you guys. But anyways, I won't talk too much more about that. They talk about deliverability a lot inside $7 Tsunami, so I'm not going to talk too much about delivering the issues. They go into it. They go inside of Aweber and show you what's going on in there and how to deliver it. So pretty cool. I won't go into that too much. Let's move on to traffic to the newsletter, and then we'll wrap up this thing, guys. Okay, guys, so with traffic for the newsletter, this is something that Mark addresses inside $7 Tsunami. So I'm just going to supplement that a little bit. Keep in mind, you definitely want to check out his training on the traffic inside of the product, okay? But I do want to supplement a little bit for you guys. And to do traffic, first of all, guys, with the traffic thing, make sure you get over to epicconversions.com, okay? I have a course over there called 50 Ways to Flood Your Website with Targeted Traffic. Okay? This course is free. Alright? It's free. All you have to do is join my email list to get it. Alright? So very, very simple. Okay? Pick that up. What that is that's 50 little quick 2 to 3 minute videos that basically walk you through different traffic methods to get traffic to your website. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so make sure you pick that up. That's my cheap, shameless plug. Also, you'll be offered a couple other products, and one of those is Art of the Funnel, which will teach you how to kind of expand upon your framework for sales. Right? It's going to teach you how to make it not just a sales page to a download page. You could make it like a sales page to like an offer, and then they could say no thanks, and then they could go to the download page, right? So it kind of goes a little bit more in depth, and it kind of helps you with that. So pretty cool. So make sure with the traffic, make sure you pick that up first. epicconversions.com. Pick it up. I'll show you guys where it's at, right? You can't miss it. epicconversions.com. First thing that happens when you get it, boom. 50 ways to solve your traffic problem for good. Okay, so cool. That's enough of a shameless plug. Now I want to actually show you something right now without having to pick anything up. We're over here on Facebook, okay? I want to take you to a Facebook fan page of mine. This is a fan page for my web writers Facebook group. Yes, that's right. I created an actual fan page for my Facebook group, okay? The thing is, you can create a fan page for just about anything, you guys. Now, the cool thing about fan pages is this: with a fan page, you can actually invite your friends to like this page. Like, I have all these friends on Facebook. I can invite all the ones that have not seen this. I can invite them. And it's real easy. Boom, boom, boom. I can just invite them to like my page. Boom. I can just invite them. Alright? I can invite them. So that's enough of that. You guys get the point. You can invite your friends to like a fan page. What that's going to do is that's going to drive a little bit of traffic to your fan page. So what I'm telling you to do right now is you want to create a fan page for your newsletter. But it's not going to be for your newsletter. Alright? It's going to be for something or someone that people care about surrounding the subject of your newsletter. Like for our example, UFC. I'm doing a UFC newsletter. What am I going to make a fan page about? Here's what I would do, okay? UFC trending. UFC trending, right? We're just going to do trending UFC, and we're gonna okay, Dana White, trending Dana White. He's I think he's the president of the UFC. So I'm not gonna make a fan page about UFC. I'm gonna make a fan page about Dana White, right? It's going to be called something like Dana White Rocks, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a picture of Dana White on here, and I'm going to put like a little profile picture of Dana White right here, and it's going to be and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to this. I'm going to be like Dana White, right? And I'm going to find images, man. I'm going to find images that are cool, like images that look kind of neat, like with emotion, like this one, images of this guy. I'm going to find maybe like 5 or 10 images. I might find a couple of videos. And what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to post them on here, right? I'm just going to post them on here, images. 5 or 10 images. I'm just going to kind of fill this page out a little bit, okay? So what do we got now? What we got is we got a fan page. You can invite your friends to it if you want. You don't have to. You might be creating a newsletter where you don't want to use your Facebook profile to invite, friends to your page. I get that totally. So don't worry about it if you don't want to. But you're going to fill the page out with some content. You're going to go find some content, some videos, some pictures, and you're going to fill this out a little bit. 10, 20 pieces of content on here, right? Okay, so then what next? Okay, so this banner right here, it says like, it's going to say like Dana White or whatever on it, Dana White Rocks or whatever. But down here on the banner, what you want to do is you want it to say something like click sign up below for the awesome UFC newsletter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Click below. You're gonna right here on the banner, you're gonna say something about this newsletter, right? And see, when on my web page, on my fan page here, when they click sign up, right, I'm going to have to log out to do this actually. So let me this won't work if I'm logged in. So let me log in with a different Facebook. Sorry about this, guys. Let me just do this real quick. Let me log in with a different one. Let's go back to the fan page. Okay, so here's what it looks like if I'm just a person and I'm not the owner, right? So what I want to do is I want to, when they click sign up right there, sign up for the newsletter, you're going to have something right here on the banner that says sign up for the newsletter. It's awesome. Sign up for the monthly UFC news. It's awesome, or whatever. And when they hit sign up, my sign up takes them to Group Giants so they can join group. Now, your sign up for your newsletter is going to take them to your sales page, right? Like what we talked about down here, right? Sales page to download page. That sign up button is going to take them to the sales page, okay? I hope that makes sense, okay? So now what you have is you got a fan page for this trending figure, this popular figure in the UFC, and you got the sign up that drives traffic to your newsletter. Now you got to get people to this fan page, right? And the idea is that like people are going to find this fan page because they like that figure, right? Now all you got to do now is a couple of things. One, every couple of days you want to put like another picture or two on this fan page just to kind of keep it current, keep it active, right? You can hire a VA to do that if you want to, okay? Another thing that you definitely should do, I don't know if you see this is a pinned post, right? And what that means is this post always stays at the top. No matter what else is posted, this stays at the top. Now what you should do is you should do a little sales video, like a simple little video saying, hey, what's up, man? Welcome to Dana White Rocks. Obviously, I'm using our UFC example. You guys do whatever it is you're doing with your newsletter on. Hey, what's up? Welcome to blah, 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 blah. Make sure you click the sign up button up and check out the monthly UFC newsletter. All right, it's awesome. Don't forget to check it out. Right, and that's it. Right. And then you pin that, you make that post, and then you pin it to the top, right? You can do that right here, right? Here's a post. I can pin it to the top, right? So I can't do it because I'm logged in as my other login, so I could show you guys what this looked like just to a normal person. But I was like, where's the pin button? I don't see it. But no, you can do this if you're just like, if you're the owner of the fan page, you can do it. You can pin a post to the top, okay? So you want to pin that post to the top. That way everyone that hits your fan page, they see this, and they also see that pinned post at the top that promotes the newsletter. Pretty cool. So what's the next step? Well, I'll tell you the really easy way to do it, okay? And probably the best way to do it. What you want to do is you want to get yourself a Facebook ad and start spending like $5 a day and just driving traffic to this fan page. You're going to be doing a Facebook fan page like campaign, okay? You're basically just going to be trying to get likes to your fan page. That's what you're going to be doing. And some of that traffic is going to hit your fan page up. They're going to check it out, and some of that traffic is going to funnel right to your newsletter, okay? So that is a method of driving traffic. I'm not going to go into audience insights. I'm not going to go into all that stuff. That's a whole nother course teaching you about Facebook ads, okay? That's a whole nother thing. Understand that you want to try to find popular things within the niche. That's what you want to do, because you got to understand nobody gives a crap about your newsletter, but they do give a crap about like Dana White, right? They do give a crap about Ronda Rousey. They give a crap about, you know, Conor McGregor. These are like big people in the UFC. So whatever your niche is, you want to find big subjects that people care about within that niche, and you want to make the fan page about that. So that's something they care about. You want to make it about that. And then you want to take that traffic, that audience that you're building, and you want to push that at your newsletter. All right, and that's the way you want to do it. That's a great way to drive traffic. You can do it really cheap, and it works. Okay, so this is supplemental information for $7 Tsunami. And that's it for a little method to drive traffic to your newsletter. It works. I want you guys right now to stop looking at courses that you buy and information that you get like, I hope this works. You know, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I hope it does. Stop looking at it like that, okay? You're not playing the lottery. If it works, it's through your sheer force of will and because you made it work, okay? I can give you the information, I can show you what to do, but it's up to you to do it and to adjust for problems, okay? That's all there is to it. If it works, if you start making money, it's because you made it work, okay? Make no mistake about it. So anyways, let me move on and we're going to wrap up. Alright guys, so that's the supplemental information that I wanted to provide for you guys for $7 Tsunami. I think it's a great course. I think that combined with this supplemental information is all that you need to go out there and kick butt with the newsletter business model. Like I said, you guys, I ran adventuresontheriver.com for 3.5 years. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I ran, this thing will load up. I ran this website for 3.5 years, adventuresontheriver.com. It was a membership site. It was a monthly reoccurring fee membership site. And the reason I closed it down is because I got tired of talking about Amazon, okay? I had nothing else to say about Amazon. I was done with talking about Amazon. I didn't have anything else to say about it. I was done. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. So I stopped doing Adventures on the River. Right? Current members can still get in, but, you know, I'm not accepting any new members for adventuresontheriver.com. Here's my new site. I've already told you guys about it. epicconversions.com. This is going to be a website that's about internet marketing and how to make money online. It's not about Amazon, right? So this is more congruent with what I'm interested in doing right now and what I've been doing right now. So this works out better for me. Is there going to be a membership site like attached to Epic Conversions? Maybe, but I've actually toyed around with the idea of just doing a simple newsletter attached to Epic Conversions. Either one works. Okay, either one works. Membership sites are a little bit more complicated than newsletters, you guys, because usually you need to have like a membership site plug-in, and it's just a little bit more expensive. It costs a little bit more money to make it happen. Membership sites are a great model, But if you can deliver information in a newsletter, it's cheaper, it's efficient, it's easier, and it's awesome. I mean, basically, honestly, you can run a newsletter business without even a website, man. You can have a YouTube channel in an autoresponder and run a newsletter business. You can do it just with that. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty tight model. So anyways, there's that. And I just want to say thanks for your time, you guys. It's been a pretty cool experience. It's been a pretty cool experience talking about the newsletter thing. The whole monthly reoccurring continuity packages, it's something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and I really like talking about continuity monthly membership packages. So it's been my pleasure to teach this stuff to you guys. So now what I'm asking you to do is to take a chance. I want you to take a shot. Get on over there to $7 Tsunami. Pick this thing up. It's $8, man. It's under $10. Get over there, pick this thing up. Use the training. Use the training I provided to you for free. And I want you to hit a freaking home run, man. Knock it out of the park. And when you do, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up by email, and let me know what's up, man, because I want to hear about your success. That's all I got, you guys. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.